watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
History in Fulton County this morning, live from the Fulton County Jail on Surrender Day for former President Donald Trump. We have team coverage for you this morning, covering every angle and the impacts to the city. From Liza Lucas at the airport, Ariana Manise with reaction from other GOP candidates, and much, much more. We're going to start, though, with Liza at the airport. This could change a lot of people's days and routines today, Liza.
Yes, and one day that we're going to be monitoring so very closely. We know that the former president is going to be making his way from his New Jersey golf club today down to Atlanta. And if you're going to be around the interstates early afternoon into early evening, well, you're going to probably see some of that traffic impact unfold. Now, what we have learned is that there are FAA flight restrictions also set to begin around 6:45 tonight for VIP movement. That includes the area around the Fulton County Jail, which could give us a better idea of the timing of this process. Meanwhile, security experts familiar with the process tell 11 Alive to expect Mr. Trump's motorcade route to be secured as the former president makes his way to and from the jail. Now, just like with the sitting president, retired Secret Service agent Ray Moore says to expect a protective bubble as the president moves through town, which could cause some interruptions.
We employ the same protocols and procedures in protecting him when he's at home, when he's on the road, when he's at a concert, when he's at court.
Now, Moore believes the process will nevertheless be an efficient one. And a spokesperson here at Hartsfield-Jackson International tells me that they are anticipating no impact to airport operations. Back to you.
Jerry Carnes joining me now. Jerry, we feel it getting busier kind of moment by moment here at the Fulton County Jail with protesters and security both building up.
And these demonstrators that we're watching arrive here, those arriving in support of former President Donald Trump. But that's going to add a new dimension to the security plan here. We know that at some point the Secret Service will declare a secure area around the Fulton County Jail and then go into full lockdown. Nobody allowed in, nobody allowed out during the time when Mr. Trump surrenders to Fulton County authorities. We expect that Mr. Trump will spend maybe an hour here surrendering. He'll pay his $200,000 bond. He'll fill out forms, including a medical questionnaire. He'll be fingerprinted, and Mr. Trump will be subject to a mugshot, just like the other defendants in this case. The security plan here will involve both the Fulton County Sheriff's Department and the Secret Service. Mr. Trump could enter the jail where we are here at the front entrance on Rice Street. Other defendants have done just that. There is a more secure entrance on the Jefferson Street side of the jail. Mr. Trump might use that side over there. We are unsure. We don't expect to learn a whole lot about security plan, and that is intentional. We'll know what we are able to witness, but we know that the security around the jail is going to increase during the day today.
And it will be very interesting to see if the former president gives a public statement. He does not shy away from a camera. We have seen his attorneys, Rudy Giuliani and John Eastman, speak to cameras. We'll be there if and when he does, but that's another thing we'll be watching. Aisha, a lot happening out here on the west side.
All right, you guys are covering it from all sides. We appreciate it. Thank you. That coverage will continue throughout the day. Another big story we are following for you. East Point police are working to confirm if the toddler's body found Wednesday afternoon is 2-year-old Josiah Mitchell. The family tells us it is him. Josiah went missing a little more than a week ago, and this morning his father, Artavius North, is behind bars for allegedly making up a story saying Josiah was kidnapped at gunpoint. He is the only person of interest right now.
He has not been cooperative. He's been very elusive in his stories and very deceiving.
The toddler's body was found at the East Point transfer station. Garbage from the apartment complex where Josiah's father lives is taken there. This morning, the medical marijuana industry is growing in Georgia. The state commission approved 3 more dispensing licenses with 2 locations here in the metro. Here's the breakdown. 2 licenses were approved to the company Botanical Sciences. They plan to open up 2 dispensaries, one in Chamblee and then one in Stockbridge. State commissioners also approved a 3rd license to Trulieve, Georgia, which plans to open a dispensary right outside of Augusta. In just a few hours, the first pairing of golfers will tee off for the Tour Championship at Eastlake Golf Club in Atlanta. The first tee time slated for 11:20. We're going to bring you updates from the tournament throughout the weekend. That first place finisher will win $18 million. Chesley, it is going to be a hot one for golfers out there today. I don't know how the elements impact them, but they better stay hydrated for sure.
Yeah, they're going to sweat. No doubt about that. We're looking at an air quality alert to pass along to you as well, folks. A code orange today, which means it's going to be unsafe for those sensitive to ground level ozone. Limit your time outside today or just stay inside the air if you can. Temperatures are in the 70s starting off this morning. It's a very muggy start for us. 77 degrees right now in Atlanta, 75 over toward George's Rome. A couple 60s up here the far north, 67 degrees both in Clayton and also into Blairsville at the current tower. Temperatures will be well into the 90s as we head into the afternoon. I'm thinking 95 degrees for your high. You factor in the humidity with that, it's going to feel closer to 100 this afternoon. Yeah, hot one. Plenty of sunshine around, at least for the early part of the day. I think we'll get a few more clouds working in once we get toward the afternoon. High pressure has been dominant in our area, and it will continue to be the case for today, even though there is a system up to the north of us over toward Ohio right now that will be making its way a little bit further down to the south. This could bring a few showers to our area, some isolated showers. This big area that you see will fall apart as it moves down to the south. And so we'll watch it to see if it holds together enough to bring in a few showers to North Georgia and eventually down to the metro area after about 6 or 7 o'clock. Now let's take a look at the tropics. I haven't talked about this all morning. It's very active out there. We do have a tropical storm, Franklin, and then we have a couple waves around like this one that will be headed toward the Yucatan Peninsula. 40% chance for development over the next 7 days. And then you're looking at a 70% chance of the remnants of Emily. That's going to head further off to the north, and then a 40% chance of that cluster of thunderstorms that's closer to the coast of Africa that will continue to move into these warmer waters up to the Atlantic. But let's focus on Franklin right now because it did pass over the Dominican Republic yesterday and now starting to head a little bit over toward the west. Or the east rather, and then it will head back to the west. Could strengthen to a Category 1 hurricane over the weekend, a Category 2 by the time we get into early next week, which could have an impact obviously on Bermuda, but it looks like it stays between Bermuda and the United States, but it remains out to sea. That's the way it looks so far, but we'll be tracking that as we get a little bit closer, or as it gets a little bit closer to the United States. As far as our temperatures go, hot, hot, hot. 98 for the high temperature on Friday, Saturday the same, approaching records both days, and then the chance of rain goes up as we head into next week with those temperatures going back down finally. Crash?
All right, Chesley, while the rest of the rush hour slowly develops, this is what we've been keeping an eye on. This is a live look from the Sky Tracker. You can see that horrible crash involving a tractor trailer on its side. We have confirmed that this was a fatal accident, and that is why all lanes remain shut down. Let's get over to the maps. West Expressway is what we've been talking about all morning. I-20 westbound between Thornton Road and Lee Road, all lanes remain closed. And to make matters worse, on the other side of the highway, we had a wreck 20 eastbound past Lee Road. So as you can imagine, not only eastbound but westbound delays, and this will continue for some time. Even though it's crowded, keep using Highway 78, Veterans Memorial Highway.
I'm Mariana Muniz here at the Fulton County Jail. It was a big night for GOP candidates vying for the White House, many hoping to use that moment to emerge ahead of the frontrunner, former President Trump, who will turn himself in here at the Fulton County Jail. In Milwaukee last night, we saw 8 GOP candidates on the national stage for the first time. Former President Trump, he did decline to participate. And as a frontrunner of this race, candidates, they still took him on, attacking his policies and criminal charges. Political expert UGA professor Joseph Watson says Trump will remain in the spotlight. Instead of voters analyzing the debate, which is what those GOP candidates want, the focus will remain on Trump surrendering here at the Fulton County Jail. Take a listen.
Historic nature of a major party presidential candidate confronting multiple indictments and arrest is inherently newsworthy, and I think that the American people should see that, and I think the coverage is going to be extensive.
Now the next debate will take place next month in California, but it's still unclear if the former president will participate. Cheryl?
Ariana, thank you. As we wait for Mr. Trump to turn himself in here at the Fulton County Jail, our Verify team is hard at work for you. One common question you're getting: why is it taking so long for these cases against the former president to come together? Brittany Kleinpeter has your answer. Good morning, Brittany.
Good morning, Cheryl. We are hearing those questions, and we're taking those to our sources. Today, we are checking in with those sources: Cornell Law School, Department of Justice, and in these cases, we're looking at how things play out. So it does include certain procedures like pretrial motions expected in a few of these cases, as well as could take several weeks to resolve. But what we are looking at is how long this has taken to come together. We just learned that Smith was pushing for a speedy trial, which according to that definition would begin in 70 days from the date of the indictment or from the date the defendant appears before an officer of the court in which the charge is pending. However, as I mentioned before, this does include added procedures and protocols, and that could take several weeks in this case.
All right, our coverage will be continuous throughout the day, anticipating the surrender of former President Donald Trump. We'll be with you throughout the afternoon, throughout the Today Show, and full coverage on 11 Alive News at 5. For now, we'll send it off to the Today Show, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.